Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Najah Alamitin Razmi from AM12038. So today, I would like to present about Chapter 1. There are two types of business structure in Chapter 1, which are registered company and business entities. For registered company, there are three different types of registered company. Firstly is company limited by shares, secondly is company limited by guarantee, and thirdly is unlimited company. For company limited by shares, it can be divided by two. The first one is public and the second one is private. For public, there are listed and non-listed company. And for private, there are single member company and some private company. So for company limited by guarantee, there is only public company under CLBG. And the last one, for unlimited company, it also can be divided by two, which is public and private. Next, for business entities, there are three different types of business entities, which are sole proprietorship, partnership, and limited liability partnership. And the last one, there is also company that are related to each other. There are three different types of companies, which are wholly owned subsidiary, ultimate holding company, and subsidiary and holding company.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Zul Hakimi bin Arazmi. Today, I will present about question 1. So, basically, subsidiary company is a corporation company that owned by another company, commonly referred as parent company or other corporation that have subunit under them. Other than that, subsidiary company is independent and separate legal entities from their parent corporation, representing their responsibilities, tax and governance in terms of independence. There are three characteristics of subsidiary company. Based on Section 4, Subsection 1A of the Companies Act 2016, first characteristic is the company will be considered as subsidiary company if there is other company controls the composition of the company's board of directors, which that means the parent corporation of other can vote to nominate or remove the board members of the subsidiary company and make important decisions about the subsidiary operates. So, the second and the third characteristic will be presented by Elida. So, that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, my name is Nur Elida binti Abu Sin and I will be present for second characteristic of subsidiary company. In order to label some company as subsidiary, there will be more than of the total number of issued shares of the corporation are held by another company known as their parent company. It means that the share of subsidiary company will be dominated by their parent company and not by their own. For example, we can take a look at how Hap Seng split their share into 5 subdivided whose most of the names that were listed are from the parent company and not from their subsidiary company, as they are the one who dominated their subunit or subsidiary company under them. The company shall also be deemed as subsidiary if there is other company holds more than half of the company's voting capacity. As we know, the number of votes of a shareholder who own more than 50% of issued shares and voting power will most likely control their organization. This is because the number of votes of a shareholder has corresponds to the number of shares he or she owns, unlike the single voting right that people usually own in democratic government. Based on what we have studied, Hap Seng Industries Berhad will pick those who only from other corporation or parent company to participate when there is such an event that need voting power as they controlled half of it. Thus, the proxy named to attend and vote at the meeting shall be entitled to speak at the meeting with the same privilege as the member. That is how voting power be done at this company where the voting power have been dominated by their parent company that have 3 subsidiaries under them, and also that gives full access of the decision making for their company.
Now, I would like to discuss and explain about registered company. Registered company in Malaysia that can be incorporated must be registered with the Registrar of Companies. registered company can be defined as a company registered with the Companies Commission of Malaysia CCM in compliance with the Companies Act or the corresponding prior act according to Section 2 Companies Act 2016. As stated in Section 20 Companies Act 2016, a company incorporated under this Act shall be a private entity, which shall have legal identity distinct from that of its owners and shall continue to exist until it is excluded from the registry. I would like to brief about separate legal personality. Separate legal personality means corporate personality is bestowed on a company that is a corporate body. It is a separate legal life for individual owners or shareholders or who are the natural citizens of the company. A corporation can claim and sue on its own behalf and return property separately to its owners. They do not own the properties of the company and are personally responsible for its debts. According to case Salomon and Co. Ltd., the court held that the case was a twin principal independent corporation and limited liability at the end. Thus, the company have to be responsible for its obligations. The first incorporated company is company limited by shares. It can be defined as a company shall be limited by shares if the power of its shareholders is restricted to the amount if either unpaid on the shares owned by the members. This ensures that members are not obligated to pay the company's liability following the dissolution of the company if they have paid their shares in full. The number of employees of the public corporation is limitless. The minimum number of directors is 2. The forming procedures is complicated. Moreover, interest can be transferred by carrying out a share conversion form and being subject to the rules of the constitution of the company. Acquisition of property belongs to the corporation. Disagreement or dissatisfaction shall be resolved by a majority of the votes. It is required by the Companies Act 2016. Company limited by shares could be either in public or private company. As stated in Section 2 Companies Act 2016, public company can be defined as other than private company. Moreover, under public company there are listed and non-listed company, while under private company it is also can be divided into 2 categories, which are single member company and exempt private company. The public company listed is one that normally has Berhad or BHD, that is short for Berhad, whose member is organized by shares of shares planned to be publicly exchanged on the stock exchange or in over-the-counter markets. Non-listed public company is a public company which is not listed on any stock exchange. For example, for public company is ASJX Berhad. According to Section 42, Subsection 1 Companies Act 2016, a company limited by shares with a membership not exceeding 50 may be listed as a private company, may change its status as a private company, or may remain its registration as a private company. A private company is limited to the transfer of its shares. In private company, there is single member company can be referred as a shareholder. However, the Companies Act 2016 forbids acts of dual capacity. In other words, if the act is expected to be carried out by both the director and the secretary, the act must be carried out by 2 separate individuals. Meanwhile, the exempt private company is when there is no financial interest retained directly or indirectly by another company and they must not have more than 20 or fewer members. Exempt private company is not forbidden to make loans from its directors according to the Section 224 of Companies Act 2016. An example for private company is Energetic Points Berhad. Next, I would like to talk about company limited by guarantee, CLBG. CLBG means that the liability of its member is limited to the amount to which the members undertake to contribute to the event that it wound up. The firm may be a public company as specified in Section 11 Subsection 2 of the Companies Act, and its name may or may not have the word Berhad. Pursuant to Section 45 Subsection 3 of the Companies Act 2016, they can apply to the Minister for a license to remove the term Berhad or the abbreviation BHD from its name. Hence, they are forbidden to be established with share capital according to Section 12 of the Companies Act 2016, as they can only be established for non-profitable purpose. Only company limited by a guarantee can be established with the following objects, such as promoting science, promoting religion, promoting charity. For example, as Aman Palestine Berhad, one of the company that limited by guarantee. The registration of Aman Palestine was officially approved by the Companies Commission of Malaysia CCM under the name of Aman Palestine Berhad as a non-profit organisation. It is to support the Palestinians collectively on a scheduled, continuous and successful basis. The last type or the final type of registered company is unlimited company. As it stated under Section 10 Subsection 4 Companies Act 2016, there is no any limit for unlimited company on the liability of its members. Unlimited company might impose a floating fee on its asset and openly trade with its property in the ordinary course of business. Therefore, any borrower or security holder of the company may have access only to the properties of the company. It also can be a public or private company as stated in Section 11 Subsection 3 Companies Act. The number of employees of the public company is infinite, but the minimum number of directors is 2. The company may invite the public to deposit money and not to be limited according to Section 43 Subsection 1 of the Companies Act 2016. According to Section 25 Subsection 1, the word Berhad is used for public company. Under Companies Act, age limit is disqualified from this act, and no maximum age limit to become a director. According to Section 196 Subsection 2 Companies Act, the minimum age to become a director is 18 years old, and this could be applied to all types of companies. Removal of director through ordinary resolution shall extend to all public companies. Private company is one of part under limited company. Private company can be defined as a company which immediately before the beginning of this act was a private company under any corresponding previous written statute, any company organized as a private company under this act, or any company transformed into a private company under Section 41 Companies Act 2016. It is also under unlimited company which has the word Sendirian Berhad as the MBHD at the end of the company's name, while Sendirian will be used for unlimited company. So, I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and have a good day to Sir Faiz. I'm Nolena Afika binti Abdul Rahim, the next presenter, going to explain about business entity in Malaysia. As we know, business entity in Malaysia has divided by 3 types, which is sole proprietorship, partnership, and limited liability partnership. So, for the first one is sole proprietorship. Sole proprietorship is described as a single person who is fully own the company and have self-control management, and make it as a small capital size. In the meantime, it the easiest and way cheaper to set up among the others. On the other hand, they have unlimited liability. If a company fail or declare as bankrupt, lender can sue the owner of the sole proprietorship for all debt held by the respective merchants, where their personal asset, personal income, and job income are liable. Barbershop or kedai runcit is one of the example of sole proprietorship. The register is under Registration of Business Act 1956 and Registration of Business Rule 1957. The most important is the organization is only allowed Malaysian citizens. However, if we want to register as sole proprietorship, we are required to pay the fee to Suruhanjaya Syarikat Malaysia. The strange is the founder can close the company with his own discretion. After all, sole proprietorship is not a legal entity. Next is partnership. Based on Section 3(1) Partnership Act 1961, is described as the relationship between individuals who carry the business in general with a view to profit. The company of partnership must be documented under the Registration Business Act 1956 and only allowed by Malaysian citizen or permanent resident. Partnership company must be made for at least 2 representatives and not more than 20, which make the capital is wider than sole proprietorship, which mean their management and control will be managed by investor. For those who contribute their asset, provided that the partners contribute as per the agreed percentage and end up making every associate an agent. For example, is Polyclinic Dr. Azni and Azmi is one of the partnership company. It is also bound by unlimited liability, same as sole proprietorship. Next, for benefit and loss, they will divide equally to each other. In short, agreement among partners is the major gap between sole proprietorship and partnership, where it has been regulated in Malaysian Partnership Act 1961, where the agreement must be created or set to default. And the last one is limited liability partnership, or be known as LLP, where it is a cross of partnership and limited private company, where it has the same characteristic to the partnership but have advantage of a private limited company. Limited liability partnership, however, should have at least 2 or infinity shareholders. Under the Limited Liability Partnership Act 2016, LLP is an alternative company launched by the Company Commission of Malaysia that provided better option to put their business. The aim is to design for all profit-making companies and also to develop professional profession such as a lawyer and a company secretaries for all the purpose of their carrying out their professional practice. In sum, that's all the different for the business entity in Malaysia, where we have sole proprietorship, partnership, and limited liability partnership. Thank you. As for the conclusion for the chapter 1, the subsidiary company is a corporate entity that other business entity own half or completely. The characteristics show who run the director board, who vote, and who also own a share of the subsidiary company. Then, we all know that all business structure have their own characteristic and variation among their business, which is registered company and business entity in Malaysia. Registered company has 3 types of company, which is company limited by share, company limited by guarantee, and unlimited company. While for the business entity, is explained about the sole proprietorship, partnership, and limited liability partnership. And there are many benefits for various forms of business in Malaysia. That's all from us for this presentation. Thank you and Assalamualaikum.